Team's on a roll heading into another top 25 matchup. Just your thoughts heading into Wednesday night?
Well, hopefully, continue to build on the momentum. We're playing pretty good basketball right now. Our defense has kind of picked it up a notch, done a great job on the glass over the last couple weeks. And our offense at times is much improved. We're moving the ball better, making better decisions with the ball, getting a lot of good basketball from a lot of different guys. And you have a big road win like we had on Saturday afternoon, and you hope to continue that against, obviously the best team in the league, first place in the league, top 25 team, tremendous coach, and they're so well balanced. You can't key on one guy, and you can't key on one specific area of the game. You have to have a really well-balanced attack offensively and defensively to put yourself in a position to get a big win.
You've had some big crowds here this season. How much does that help the team, and how important is it going to be Wednesday?
Well, it really helps our team. Having a great home court advantage with the energy in the building always helps the home team. Kind of keeps the momentum going if you're playing well, and if you're in a little bit of a lull, they've been able to kind of help us get out of it. And I think of the Central Florida game in the start of the second half, for sure, they came out, defended us really well. We missed some pretty good shots, not able to get a basket to go, and then all of a sudden we hit 1-3, and the crowd really kind of got behind us at that time and kind of acted as a springboard for the next 4 or 5 minutes where we were able to stretch the lead again. So great opportunity for us to take another step in building the program in terms of having great home crowds and really building a tough place to play for the opponents.
At the start of the Memphis game, CBS announcers said that Zach Dawson was going to sit out due to a knee injury. I know it hasn't even been 24 hours, but can you give us an update on Zach?
Yeah, it occurred during the Central Florida game, and it didn't start bothering him until the next day. Just a little strain in the back of his knee, and kind of where the hamstring attaches to some tendons. And he worked his tail off all week long to try to get back and ready for that game. He's made progress. Right now he's still questionable for the games this week. But with our training crew and our doctors working almost nonstop with him and his work ethic, we'll have to see. Again, it's always up to the player and the medical staff. And it had to change not only our lineup but our rotation a little bit. But we have guys that are versatile and can flip and play different positions. And Justin being able to flip back and playing a little more at the 3 was very efficient for us on Saturday afternoon. And that means there's more stress is put on Madut and Rayshawn, and Jameer gave us a couple really good minutes in the first half when we got in foul trouble. We were able to get David a little bit of a rest in the second half. So it's all hands on deck right now, and I think because everybody's improved, everybody when they get the opportunity has been able to make a positive impact in the game.
You brought up Rayshawn. He's only played 35 games in his career here, but is it fair to say that he played with more toughness in that Memphis game than any other game of his career?
Yeah, he's starting to embrace that, and you're really starting to see it. You know me, I always want a little more on the defensive end, but you're really starting to see it offensively, more aggressive, but he's doing a great job on the glass for us offensively. And we challenge our guys. We put them in some tough spots. We were switching some, so now all of a sudden he's on the point guard or the 2 guard. But that's where that versatility comes in. But that's also where our team defense has to come into play, when we get some switches and some of our swing players are caught strictly on a perimeter guy. But he has grown in the physical toughness and the mental toughness, being able to move on. He was disappointed in a defensive play that he made. But then 2 possessions later, he gets the big offensive rebound on the missed free throw. That basically sealed the game for us, And we always talk about that play, the free throw line cutouts, how big those plays are in games. You saw it in another game this weekend, 2 of them, And in our game, it was huge for us. And Ray made that play. And his ability to move on and move on to the next play has really grown over this, the past 3 or 4 weeks.
You guys sent a lot more to the offensive class, especially in that Tulane game, sending 3, even 4 at times. I mean, is that something you're going to have to do again against Houston?
Yeah, we're going to have to do that all year long. Now that puts some pressure on your transition defense, and Houston's so dynamic in the open court because they have multiple guys that can push it. They turn block shots into layups. They're the best rebounding team in the country, so they turn defensive rebounds into quick outlets. So we're going to have to do a good job of that. But it's increased our aggressiveness, and it's also helped us offensively. There's no doubt about it. And there's always a transfer too because of the aggressiveness going to the glass on one end. It's helped us on the defensive end, rebounding as well.
It seems generally when Justin plays well, the team plays well. In the most part, why is he that X factor?
Well, he does a lot of things that kind of complement, like David and LaQuincy in particular. His ability to knock down shots, stretches that help defense. A lot of times his man is the gap defender when LaQuincy or David have the ball where we're trying to open up some driving lines. His ability to get us extra possessions on the offensive glass. He doesn't, now in the game the other day, he finished a couple plays around the basket. A lot of times when he gets an offensive rebound, he kicks the ball out, which now creates a scramble defensively, which open up driving lines for those two guys to drive or to make a next pass and get an open 3 off that. So, again, there's never a question of how hard he's playing or the effort or the energy. That's a consistent. And now he's starting to figure out some different areas that can really impact the team, other than just making shots. He hit a good pull-up the other game. He hit a big one in the Central Florida game as well. He's getting more comfortable off the dribble. So having that other perimeter threat, not just scoring, but obviously defensively and rebounding, really helps us.
Coach, you often talk about check marks and benchmarks in building the program. The last 2 games, you got 2 big ones, beating UCF and then getting a quad one win, on the road. Where we're beating a top 25 team ranked.
Well, I think that's one that hasn't been checked off yet. Hasn't been checked off here in a long time. But that's another step. There's no doubt about it. And our time's going to come, and what we have to do over the next 2 days is prepare ourselves for it to hopefully come on Wednesday night. But you got to keep knocking, and we've done that. And eventually you got to break through. And to do it against a team that, as a coach and as players, we have as much respect for as anybody that will ever play. But we have to go in there with an aggressive attitude. You cannot be timid and meek and play against Houston. You just can't. You can't do it. And so we're going to have to muster up all that physical and mental toughness that we can have and go out there and play really, really disciplined for 40 minutes.
You've got a month until you're in Fort Worth for the conference tournament, and a month left to this conference slate. What's maybe 1 or 2 things that you'd like to see improve with this team until then?
Well, obviously, if we can keep getting better, in terms of our movement and our spacing and our screening on the offensive end, and really, keep embracing the creating open shots for our teammates. I think that's an area we've dramatically improved in, but that's something you can always get better at. And obviously, we're still going to win, on the defensive end and rebounding wise. But the most important thing for us is to continue the day-by-day process. Guys getting in the morning and getting extra shooting or coming back in at night. I think that's one of the things you're starting to see pay off. Unfortunately, it doesn't always happen immediately. It's not 1 week, it's the 2nd week, it's the 3rd week, it's the 4th week. And for us to keep practicing well. I've said it since day one, since I got the job. This is a program that values your daily habits and what you do daily in practice or workouts. And we're becoming a better practice team. Not that we weren't good, but we're getting better. And because of that, it gives us our best chance during the 30 nights of competition to play better. And I think if we can continue to do that, that's going to bode well for the last 8 games of the regular season and then heading into the tournament time.
You mentioned shooting at night. Other than more coffee, do you change your routine at all for a 9 o'clock start?
You know, everything's kind of pushed back. It makes for a long day for the coaches and the players. You know, so not much change. We'll have guys come in. The guys come in on their own in the morning and shoot free throws and maybe watch some film, and then we'll have our normal shoot around. I'm getting a little older, so maybe a second nap in the afternoon might be in order. But yeah, it's the 9 o'clock games are interesting. There's no doubt about it, because it makes for a very, very long day. And if the game was anything like the home game against Houston last year that lasted 4 hours and 56 minutes, this game may go into Thursday morning. All right?